changed it. They say it's human kinetics and health education. Every day there in the school. So I will tell them just yourself. So I was at my son's wedding last year in somewhere.
Good morning. My name is Kike, your host today on the podcast White Reflections by Hadufe. White Reflections by Hadufe is a podcast that delves into the complexities of life, social ills, and modern day living. Like you know, what we try to do on the show is we try to bring people with real life experiences to come in perhaps and share their experiences. Maybe in the process, somebody going through something similar can benefit from it. Also, I bring in people to educate us about certain social issues in the society. Today, we'll be talking about career guidance for teenagers and adults. Joining me on the show today is Professor Abidemi Odeleye. Professor Abidemi Odeleye is a professor, guidance and counseling, Lead City University, Ibadan. Thank you so much, Professor Abidemi Odeleye, for coming.
So delighted to be here this morning.
Thank you so much, and thanks for being an encouraging figure out there. I really appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It's an honor to be here, honestly. And I always say that the better life is the one that is poured out as libation for others. Life is all about service. Life is all about, making someone else smile. That is what life is all about. So, and the more we do that within our own sphere of influence, that's how we make the world a better place.
Thank you so much, sir. And thanks for, saying this is so inspiring. Thank you so much, sir. So, Professor Abidemi Odeleye, can you give us a brief insight into who you are and what you do exactly, sir?
Well, just like you said, I'm Abidemi Odeleye. Some people know me as Donald Abidemi Odeleye. I am a Nigerian counseling psychologist and belong to the first generation of professional guidance counselors in Nigeria. I've had the privilege of starting off counseling clinics in schools, and I've also been involved in consultancy for different agencies concerning how to optimize their human resources. I teach guidance and counseling at the university, and I've been doing that for quite a while. I've moved from where I started out is career counseling. I moved into personality. Moved from there to personality disorders, psychotherapy, essentially. And then presently I work more on pastoral counseling, psychology.
That's very good, sir.
Yeah, so that's what I do. It's been my life. Started counseling students since 1983. And it's a calling, it's a training, it's a profession, it's my life. That's what I do all the time.
I love the fact that you said it's a calling. For me, I believe whatever is your calling is the best way to go when it even comes to your profession and your career. Because when you infuse those two together, you're good to go.
That's
yes,
right.
sir.
That's right.
I have discovered that transitioning from school to work can be one of the most difficult phase in an individual's life. Oftentimes when you're in school, you're so excited, you're so enthusiastic about, going out there into the job market, into the workforce, and, honestly, almost getting a job immediately. That's always the idea.
Yeah.
And, I was like that when I was in school. I just didn't know that, out there's this cutthroat competition, until I got out there into the job market, and I started to look for job and all of that. And at some point, I realized that I would have to make do with what I have,
That's right.
as against what I would have wanted to do. And I know that is like the Nigerian story for basically most youths. And for the purpose of this interview, we'll be talking about how to guide teenagers, adolescents, from secondary school to the university, career guidance, and some of the things they can, information skills they can acquire to help them narrow their options down to a career goal. One of the things I've come to realize is being book smart doesn't guarantee or translate into getting a good job. Why is that?
Well, life is all about survival of the fittest. And the Nigerian story is peculiar in the sense that when I left the university, I got 2 or 3 jobs without even working for it. I left the university in 1982. I served 1982-83. That time, with a degree from the university, you will get a job. You get a civil service job. You get a teaching job. You work in the bank. You work anywhere you want to work, mostly. I think, well, it's a problem of skewed growth, I would say, because we still have everything in place that should be able to take in what we have. But if our industries are not growing, if our human capacity is also not growing, because it's, like you said, it's one thing to score a first class, it's another thing to get into the market and be able to show what stuff you have. Because out there in the market, we're looking for handsome persons. We're looking for people who are passionate, people who know what they're doing. So it's not just getting understanding of the maths or the English. Or no, it's much more than that. And that's where we talk about soft skills. In the 21st century, you need much more than that. And that's why we talk about 21st century skills. Skills of creative thinking, collaboration, knowing how to collaborate, being ready to volunteer, critical analysis, being able to be entrepreneurial. So going beyond what the traditional classroom will teach, will offer, we're expecting students, we're expecting graduates to be able to come up with transformational skills. And these skills are unfortunately, because it's what you have that you give. A lot of those who are teaching presently, unfortunately, at the elementary, secondary, even at the university, don't have these skills. So, and it's a skill that you must imbibe to be able to transfer to your students.
Absolutely.
So we have that challenge. And that is why everywhere now we're saying, look, we need to begin to learn, relearn, and unlearn. Because the world is changing too fast. I always say one thing, that really the times we are in now, a lot of times it doesn't matter what you study.
Absolutely.
What matters now is you, yourself. If you are creative, if you are inventive, if you are someone who thinks out of the box, and I tell people, sometimes you throw away the box. Yeah, so that you can express yourself. This is the time for you to express yourself. The first programmer we had, the first student programmer we had in Lee City University was a student studying educational management, not a student studying computer science. So where we're at now, I mean, we talk about the fourth industrial revolution. Already we are going beyond that because the fifth industrial revolution is already here.
Already here.
When, I mean, you see the machines and human beings, they are collaborating together. They're working together, you know. A lot of us are still stuck in the first industrial revolution, which is the revolution of coal, you know. The second industrial revolution, which started in the 1900s, brought electricity. I mean, nations of the world settled their issues on electricity at that time. From the second industrial revolution, you move into the 1960s with the computer age. That's the third industrial revolution, where you have, you know, where you have computers taking the, and of course from 2000, the fourth industrial revolution came. I was attending a conference in the Netherlands. It was the year 2000. And someone was telling us there, said, look, within a few years, you'll be talking to somebody thousands of miles away and you'll be seeing the person. I said, in my heart, I said, this cannot happen in Africa because of our problem. But lo and behold, within a few years after 2000, we started to see a lot of things happening. Now, if you look at the way knowledge is growing, then you'll understand that what matters most is for the individual to discover his passion. And, you know, leverage that passion, work on it, to be able to impact the lives of people. Because where we are now is either you're functional, relevant to the needs of others.
Around you?
Yes, and globally. Yeah, it's either you are doing that or you are just going to be at the ground.
So it's not a 9-to-5 job anymore.
No,
nobody's going to survive on
a lot of those jobs are already going.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh, they've gone.
I mean, that's the truth. No, but you see, still in Africa, we're getting a lot of things here. When we're talking about our young people, one of the things we say to parents is, look, right from the time the child is very small, that's the time that you need to begin to build this into them, so that a child that is going into information, for instance, you begin to help that child. And children, I mean, there are so many factors that influence our career choice in life. You know, when we talk about career, I'm sure we understand that it is a vocation that you want to build your life on. You know,
Absolutely.
So it takes time. You know.
What are those factors?
Parents. The environment where you are raised, it does make a lot of difference. And we always say this, that it's not what you are taught that you become. You become what you see. You become who your parents are, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, you know. Everything rubs on you. You become who your teacher or your teachers are, you know, because you learn more from their lives. We talk about some things in...
so the people around you basically have strong influence. They have influence.
The environment you live in, the kind of exposure that you're exposed to, then your own person. Because, you know, we're all different people. Yeah, we are different people. So, I mean, what excites you may be different from what excites me, you know. So the issue of personality, you know, and of course I've spoken about the issue of exposure. Someone who you are allowed to move out, someone you're allowed to have access to information. And that's what we're doing in counseling.
At a very young age?
Yeah, you need to get the information. You need to know what is going on around you. It does make a lot of difference. Now, if for whatever reason, parents and guardians did not do so well before the child turns 11, goes into the high school, the secondary school, the grammar school, it's still not so bad. Because if you have the guidance counselor in place, or a careers master, or whoever is there to just help them, how do they create the environment? They come up with programs like this.
Okay.
Asking a professional, for instance, to come and talk about what it does and what are the prerequisites for that particular job. You know, those are the kind of things. We have careers day, we have workshops, we have excursions. Take them out, and let them see what is going on out there. They may go to the flour mill, for instance, and just I like what is going on here. So what does it take to work in the flour mill? Or you take them to maybe the museum. Yeah, art gallery. You know, they get there. The child says, look, I would like to do something like this. You know, because where we are at now, things are changing so fast. And the good news is that even though the robots are going to take a whole chunk and they're taking a whole lot of jobs, you still cannot dispense with the kind of thing you're doing. You cannot dispense with communication. You cannot dispense with relationships. And that's why we talk about soft skills.
Networking.
Yes, being able to work. I mean, that's why those of us in the mental health profession, you always keep having jobs. You have to, because people will always have issues. They will always have need. Medical doctors, yes, they'll be limited, but they are going to still be getting jobs.
Medical doctors?
Oh, yes, they'll be limited because now, where we're at presently is that you can actually self-diagnose using your phone. You can get information about what's going on in your body.
Professor, are you saying being a doctor is not so special anymore?
Well, it's always special, but you see, the doctor has to use both the old and the new. They say ancient and modern. He has to step up his knowledge for him to stay relevant.
Exactly. Absolutely, because I'm consulting you. I already know what's wrong with me. So I really need you to come up, so tell me what's reasonable that can fit into what I've read already.
Now robots are used to do some serious surgery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they are used. I mean, they are the ones. I mean, they use some special equipment to find out what's going on inside that guy. Some radiographic kind of thing, and the robot knows where exactly the problem is. A doctor from the UK, a Nigerian doctor recently, I've forgotten his name, Kwame or something, came up with the same kind of thing to treat prostate cancer. Yeah, where he didn't need to cut anybody open. So that's where we are at. Robots are coming in strongly. And you can do a lot of diagnosis, self-diagnosis, because the robots will be so many now. Everything you want to do. I mean, so why are we saying all this? So when the kids want to go to school, one of the things that university education or higher education does to a person is to enlarge the critical thinking skills, to establish, the ability of that individual to be able to relate with other people, with a lot of finesse and creativity. So, are we saying that they should all go and study data science, which is very, very important now because, everywhere we talk about the big data, we talk about data analytics and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's good. If someone who, for instance, is going into economics, for instance, he can say, okay, let me go and do data. Because data science can give you money, the kind of money you can never imagine. And you can sit down in this place. You can sit down in
your room.
Yes.
In your living room.
Yes.
And
in
then
that suburb where you are, you make all the money that your great grandfather and fathers have never imagined. And I mean, that's where we are at now. So there are more opportunities, talking very seriously in those areas, Internet of Things, IoT, artificial intelligence,
Robotic
digitizations,
engineering,
robotics, yeah, cyber security,
and coding and all of
all those ones, you have more and more opportunities. But the good news is that even all these ones have to be serviced by some human agents, right? At some point, you need to relate, you talked about robot wife, robot husband. They are limited. Yeah, they will do anything. They will cook for you and serve all your food and do everything. And
honestly, Professor, I'm happy you said all of this because, I mean, there's a shift right now.
yeah,
And, I don't know if a lot of parents understand what you just said, but I do understand totally because I know that most of these professions that, back in the days, your parents will say, oh, I'm so proud, I'm so happy. My child is studying medicine, my child is studying law, my child is studying. Most of those professions are oversaturated and overstretched.
that's right.
That's number one.
That's right.
I attended a matriculation ceremony of one of the leading, private universities in Ibadan very recently. And this university matriculated about 2,000 students into various, degree courses.
Okay.
And out of 2,000, close to 2,000 students that were matriculated that day, more than half of those 2,000 students were matriculated into the law department. And I sat there thinking, lawyers? I mean, just one school, close to 1,000 students studying law. I mean, the system, the society, do we need more lawyers? We have enough already. And most of them are even, they're there.
They are underemployed.
They are underemployed.
Yeah.
We have a lot of them, they've been in the industry for close to, 10, 15 years, and they haven't still, they're still struggling.
Found their feet.
Okay, so, I sat down there looking and thinking, there are other things, other choices, other career paths that these children, could have, gone. But then if the parents do not even have those kind of information that you just gave to us now, how do you impact them? How do you look at your child and say, oh, okay, this is what this child is good at, okay? And talking about me, you mentioned earlier that communication, I didn't start up like this. I'm still in the service, I still work. But at some point, I did ask myself, have I been fulfilled working here? It's a 9-to-5 job, but have I been fulfilled? No. My answer would be no. My question now to you, Professor, is how soon or late can it be for you to make a career switch? Because I know there are so many people out there who have started really not so good, who do not have this information. But of course, we are in the information age now. We do have that information now. But how easy is it to make a career switch? And of course, what are the risks involved?
Yeah, career switch, is it's been with us for a long time. You have, in those days when couples will say, well, both of us are graduates, but you go find the money, I will take care of the kids. They do that for about 10 years, some 15 years, and then the woman switches again, goes to maybe she's a lawyer or something. Now she goes, it's as if she's starting again or something, we call it midlife career change. There's nothing wrong with it. It's an indication that the individual probably has discovered himself, and it's encouraged. But what I discovered in my interaction with people and when I'm consulting is that a lot of people seem to be confused of who they are. They don't know who they are. So, and that's a major problem. So even if you study medicine, for instance, and you are unsure of who you are, even though you're good, you like to take care of people, you love people, but because you don't know who you are. I know of a person who retired as a top flight medical physician, whose primary love is interior decoration. She loved that so much, and you see it in her. So she just stumbled through, and nobody could help her to make the appropriate shift. A lot of times we look at the jobs we are doing, how much we are earning, and it's a little difficult to take that leap, say, no, but I don't like this. I'm not really getting the best out of this. And I tell people, whatever vocation you're involved in, that's one of the things I tell young people. Whatever you like doing, that doesn't cost you anything, that whether they give you money, whether they say thank you or not, whether anybody appreciates you or acknowledges you or not, you just like doing it. That is you. That is you. And that thing will bring you money. It will definitely, it may take a little while. Okay. It may take longer than that your friend who is a footballer. Exactly. It may take longer than that fellow who is a lawyer. But that is you. And if you stay at it, if you work at it, you keep improving yourself, and that's why we keep talking about the person. Parents have a great deal of work to do when it comes to all these younger people. Parents, teachers, guardians, people who have influence on these young people. They have a lot to do. Now, basically, there are several courses, there are several opportunities outside of the traditional medicine, pharmacy, law, engineering, nursing, and the rest of them. There are other courses. We have actuarial science, which has to do with insurance and the rest of it.
Do we have universities in Nigeria?
Yes, we have. Okay. University of Lagos does actuarial science. There's so many of them. You have medical records.
Medical records? Yeah.
People become, even at the Federal Ministry of Health, you have people who have ascended to maybe even permanent secretaryship who have degrees, certifications in medical records. Because medical records are as important as any other division in the medical industry. Yeah, if you don't have records, you miss it completely. Yeah, there's no work the physician wants to do without the records. And there are so many other options for people
that we do not even know.
There's so many of them. So many of them. Like if you talk about my area now, guidance and counseling, or somebody who studied education, or who studied languages, maybe Yoruba, maybe Igbo, maybe Hausa, or something. Now, each of these courses, I tell people, they can only be launching pads. Once they are not professional, once you're not talking about medical science lab, you're not talking about radiography or something, each of these other areas, you study economics, you study political science, you study history. For this generation, they are launch pads. They are launching pads. They are just opportunity for that child to be able to express themselves. I had issues in the university. Yeah, because I was, when I was going to get in, I did my A-levels partially at Oliver Baptist High School and Polytechnic Ibadan. We were the first set of the JAMB that year, 1978. So somebody came to me. I was not a very serious student. Came to me and said, somebody like me came. Say, don't worry, just just get this form. Just fill anything. Just get into the university. Once you get in, they will change you. All of us wanted to study law. So I just wrote education. Say, oh, what subject? I like history. I put history there. So, of course, I was admitted. I scored enough to enter some other courses, but I just got in. And I said, okay, just 1 year in this class. And we are, of course, the first year, everybody, whether you're in law, you're in history, you are in any course, we're all doing the same courses. So I came second in my class. And I applied, say I wanted to change to law. Of course, they didn't change me. You know, and that came back to me and really, really didn't help my life. Because the second year, the third year, I was just sleeping in the university, just playing around, just doing something else.
Because you wanted law at all costs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what I'm trying to bring out is the fact that parents should be alive to their responsibilities. Yeah. Teachers also should be alive to their responsibilities.
Professor, sorry, just to ask you a question. Would you have changed anything if you had studied law eventually?
Well,
where you had
I
now,
probably
looking back.
might have missed it because I am not a lawyer. But this person you are seeing,
that's not your calling.
It's not my calling.
So you wanted law because
I'm not sure. Yeah, everybody wanted it. You know, and that is the problem. Is the problem a lot of young people are having today.
Exactly.
I'll give you an example of my son.
Absolutely, I agree.
My second son was in one of the schools here in Ibadan, secondary school, and it was time to make choice for JAMB. Everybody in his class wanted law. They wanted, you know, if you're good enough, you should be in law, you should do this. So he came to meet me. And I told him, I said, look, what do you like doing? What exactly? Of course, I know what he likes doing. I know he's a sports person. He's the most complete sports person in my house. Everybody is involved in sports. But he is number one, and he's the youngest. So I told him, so he said, he likes to do sports. I said, look, don't follow those crowd. Go and physical and health education. That's what they called it that time. I think they've changed it. They say it's human kinetics and health education. He was admitted. I think there were just two of them that were admitted.
Beautiful.
You know, the others that were admitted, his professors were telling me later, they say, these ones, it's because they couldn't get into law. They couldn't get into this. They come.
So they had to just...
You know, so even among the professors, they already knew that we only have 2 students here. There was a day they called me, they said, this your son will score first class. Please watch him.
Because
of course,
that's
him.
Really
That's him.
That's who he is.
Yes. And of course, he had a first class. I didn't have money to send him. He got scholarship right from his whether phone or tablet or something in the house.
Because that's who he is.
Yes. So that's the direction parents need to work at. I mean, I thank God that I stumbled into what I stumbled into.
Exactly, because we keep stumbling. I mean, you know, I found myself stumbling and stumbling.
That is the thing.
I got to where,
but those who advised me did not give a good counsel, because later I discovered that the person who even told me that kind of thing, he was having big problem in University of Ibadan. He was there for maybe 7-8 years to do a 4-year program. Right? So that's the kind of person I was listening to. If I had a guidance counselor or a psychologist, you know, who just tells me, no, don't do it that way. Just calm down. You want to study law, no problem. You can do first degree in political science or something, or philosophy, and then you can come back. If you still feel very strongly about it, you know. But I was not a lawyer. But everybody was going into law. And that, you know, that affected me negatively. Because I was not feeling happy. I saw some of my friends, whose parents came and they got them into law, from the same class, who didn't do as well as I did. Now, what I'm saying here is children have opportunities. There are different kinds of professions, there are different kinds of jobs, different kinds of careers they can go after. Generally, I will categorize jobs into maybe two types. People-oriented jobs, jobs that will make you to be meeting people, like this one, or work-oriented jobs, that all you are doing there is just working. If you are doing cyber security, for instance, you are doing any of this engineering, right, or computer science, or you are facing the machine almost all the time, right? So the child just needs to know, which one am I? If you are inclined towards sports is an area where people have gone to sleep. And they think it's only those who are not smart. Whereas you can be very smart and go and be a physical therapist. Physical therapists earn, at the average, they earn close to $100,000 in a year. Yeah. So, occupational therapists also, people who are also doing the same thing. These are professions nobody is thinking about.
Nobody.
Physiotherapy,
Nobody.
now they are coming into it gradually when they don't get into medicine. They want to come there. No. They have different directions. Parents can also help their children. Teaching still remains a major job, even in this fourth and fifth, and even the sixth industrial revolution. Because robots cannot completely
do the work.
Yeah, they can do it up to some point, but they cannot do the work. So education will still remain top of the pack. In Finland, teachers earn much more than any other profession. Yeah, we have just not got it right here. We have not gotten the thing right. When we get it right, I'm sure
we don't appreciate our teachers.
Things will change. It will change when we begin to understand the dynamics.
Teachers.
Yeah, what they are doing. Yeah, because they are the ones. They are the ones who mold lives. Yeah, I will rate them a little higher than physicians, than doctors. Doctors can just cut and, sometimes the person dies and
so whoever is molding.
Well, if you are molding life, if you miss one, that one might translate to 1 million.
1 million.
Yes. If you misdirect a child, it's just like the thing we are saying, that a lot of children, a lot of adults are unsure of who they are. They don't even know what they're doing. They don't know where they're going. And I always push it back to parents. Yeah, but if the parent himself doesn't know who he is, he doesn't know where he's going, he may not be able to help the child. And that's why we also counsel for parenting education, so that parents also will know that when you are bringing a child into the world, it's a heavy duty. It's a very serious assignment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you shouldn't give birth to a child and just go and sleep and say, okay, I've paid the school fees. The teachers should take care of it. That is tragedy, because the teachers also have the same problems you are running after. You are running for money, they're also looking for money. So there's no point pushing, your responsibility as a parent, jettisoning it or just pushing it aside and thinking that somebody else will do it. The times we are in is too fast. The social media is full of teachers, full of teachers for your children. They will teach them. They will teach them everything very quickly.
So you had better teach them before
they
start.
Take time. Yeah.
They start using the social media to get information.
No, they get all the information. They get everything they need. That's why it's not a difficult thing for a 14-year-old to commit suicide. That's sacrilegious in this part of the world. But it's happening.
Nobody needs to teach that child.
Yeah.
They can get
He
everything
just
from-
goes there and says, well, he's just tired of this life. And,
How can I?
you know, and it does something. So there's a lot we need to begin to do as parents, as teachers. Teachers are in loco parentis. They're supposed to be in place of parents. You know, that's what they are called to do. It's unfortunate that teachers are not properly remunerated, and teachers themselves mostly don't also do the work, you know, because, I mean, if you don't pay them well, they themselves also, they're looking for some other ways to get,
you know, things done.
Yeah.
To survive and all of that.
So that is the thing. So it's an interesting and challenging time that we are in, because the opportunities are endless. Yeah, you
For
have
those who know.
Yes, I mean, because if you have a child now, a child who is.
I mean, this that you just mentioned, Professor. I'm so sorry to cut you short there. This that you just mentioned about your son. I mean, I'm so impressed. I'm so happy right now, because for me, I've got 3 teenagers back home, and each time I ask them what they want to do, you know, you ask your children, what do you want to become? It keeps changing every time.
Yeah.
And then it keeps changing. And then the last time I asked, there's one that is in SS2 now. And, you know, he said to me, I want to be an astronaut.
Okay.
And, you know, for some time I've been seeing him, he will go outside, keep looking at the moon and all of that. And I just didn't know what
exactly is going on.
You know.
Yeah.
So when he said that to me, I said, astronaut, what are you saying to me? But with this that you have just said, I think I'm going to go back home and do my homework very well, because it's not too late.
Yeah, it's not too late.
I want to ask, Professor, how do you identify what, because like I said, it keeps changing, and then you don't know what to pick or what not to pick. But how do you identify who your child is really? Because that might even come as a big challenge to parents.
Your child, thank you very much for that question. Your child is an extension of you and your spouse. I mean, it may, and of course, maybe some other influences here and there. That's the truth. As a person, I'm a lover of people. I love progress for people. it just comes to me naturally. You know, I am willing to go out of my way to, somebody has missed this way. I'm running to get here in good time like this. I will first go and help that person. You know, that is me. I've seen those traits in my children as well. You know, and they I'll give you this example. My daughter, that's my first child. She was an all-rounder. At the GSSE, the federal GSSE, she had all A's. At the WAEC, she had all A's. Now, A in English, A in maths, A in physics, A in chemistry. You know, it's a problem. I am a professional. We use, you know, that's why we plead with government. Let them stop paying lip service to guidance and counseling. Guidance and counseling is a profession in itself. Some people will teach, they say, the counselor, if the counselor teaches, he will know the students. You don't need to teach. The counselor does not need to teach anybody. Just needs to do his job. Do your job in that school. We don't even have enough. It's supposed to be one counselor to 300 students. But most of our schools are 1,000. And you have maybe 2 counselors. And the counselor is still teaching. He's still teaching and teaching. There can't be any effectiveness.
Exactly.
You know? Let them do their jobs. One of the first thing I did when I got into a school I was posted to years ago was, because I went there with a master's anyway, they were saying, where's your teaching subject? I don't have a teaching subject. And I just went round, put my posters around to let them know that there is a new life in this school. And within a few weeks, of course, I started having problems with some teachers who felt I was already taking the show, you know. And instead of beating children, I will talk to them. When the school disciplinary committee is saying they are going to expel this child, I said, no, don't expel. Let's try and rehabilitate this child within the system. And we succeeded. So we see a lot of this. And if we'll just allow our counselors to do their jobs, it's proved in research that a school that operates effective guidance and counseling services. In other words, they are reaching out to the students. They are giving them the information they need. When they have problems with their education, they intervene. They always have better results on the short run and on the long term. They always have better results. So I hope that PTAs in your state can take this and take it seriously with government, so that everything will be done. I was mentioning my daughter. My daughter was all round. I did all the tests that we do in psychology, took her through, and I couldn't really place it. If she decided to study law, she would do well. If she decided to do medicine, she will excel. When she was small, maybe like 7, 8, she told me that she would like to be a teacher. I'm a teacher. The mom is a teacher. So she said she would like to be a teacher. Ultimately, she's a sports person.
Okay.
She was the fastest swimmer in Nigeria, 2006. You can find out about her. Okay. She got scholarship, as it were, to travel abroad. Before that time, UI was going to admit her. Yes. Wow. Well, through sports, Okay. Some people just saw her and gave her that,
opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. But UI was already going to admit her for medicine. Because she had 250-something with all A's. She wasn't doing lessons. And all those things are made. She was only swimming.
Okay.
When she finishes school, take her to UI, take her to IITA, took her to do gym work. I was a full-time missionary at that time, so I had a lot of time for her and for her brothers. Now, she left Nigeria to go and study medicine in the US. So her first 4 years or so, she was doing what they call pre-med. While she was doing the pre-med, she said she doesn't like biology. Biology is a critical point in medicine. So I said, what do we do? I said, okay, let's try pharmacy. We try pharmacy. There's also some biology there. In our pre-med, she excelled in our chemistry and maths. Right? I think those were our major. I just see her scoring 103 out of 100, 102 out of 100. I say, Today, she's a teacher. The professor of chemistry education. I thought when she said she wanted to do a PhD in chemistry, this girl, you are likely to be, just go and get this PhD in geochemical something, so that I can retire. At least if you get a job with a Mobile or Schlumberger, just give me 10%.
And go to sleep.
But she came out, she said no, that she just wants to help parents and young people to love chemistry. So she had to take some courses in education, even at postgraduate, that she never did before, just to become a professor of chemical education. They call it chemical. Here is chemistry education. So that she can fulfill
that aspect of.
And you see that it's a natural area.
That's what she really.
If she had done medicine, she would have done well. but it's not our natural area.
She wouldn't have been fulfilled. I think fulfillment is key.
So that is the thing.
I think fulfillment
And
is
it's
key.
important for parents also to teach their children. Money answers everything, though. But money is not everything.
It's not everything. I was coming to that, Professor. I was going to say, so fulfillment and, success, is it the same?
No, well...
You can be successful and not be fulfilled.
That is true. That is true. You can get to the top of your career and you're still a shadow of yourself.
You are not fulfilled.
Yeah. So it's important because ultimately what matters... I'm 61 now. I know what matters is not how much money you gather. Right? But how much you are enjoying yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely. So the problem will be resolved when the parents themselves and they begin to reorder their values. Because if a parent is busy running after money here and there,
and telling your child, this is the path I want you to do because there's so much money there.
You don't even need to teach the child. Mm-hmm. What you are doing, that's what the child will do. You will now multiply it.
So you have to lead by example.
Yeah. If you are cutting corners, your child will do much more. It will do much more than that. So when you see people, that's why we are clamoring for parenting education a great deal now. When you see people stealing...
Do you offer that as a course, as a degree course? Or is
no, it's just part of our pastoral counseling program.
Okay.
Yeah. We are pleading that people
your children are looking at you.
Yes. They will become a multiplication of you and your parents. Yes, and that's what we see. Absolutely. Somebody doesn't just wake up one morning and begin to steal around, steal. No. It's because there is a bloodline connect.
Of thieves.
Yeah. That is the truth. That is the truth. Go into the history of the parents.
A bloodline of thieves.
Yeah. So
I agree, absolutely.
No, that is the truth. Thank you so much. That's the truth about life.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And well, I don't know if you have any.
Thank you. So very quickly, because we are running out of time, I want to ask, mentorship and counseling.
Yeah.
Are they the same?
No, they are not the same.
Okay.
But a mentor is someone you look up to, who tells you, he gives direction. Actually, the three of them, mentoring, coaching and counseling. Okay. They are all together. Okay. And it's a good thing if you have a counselor who is also a coach and a mentor. It's a good thing. But
would you say you're a mentor, Professor?
Well, I have people I'm mentoring. And I also have a mentor myself.
Okay.
I have my academic mentor. Yes, I have my spiritual mentor.
Wow.
Yeah. So these are people one is looking up to. And I always tell people something. My dad passed 2003, and I miss him so much because, as a young person, when you ask him a question, he doesn't need to go to the mountain or go and fast before he gives you an answer. So that's why I decided to cultivate some elderly people as my friends in their 70s, in their 80s.
So that you can learn more from.
Yeah. Well, because you get stuck sometimes in life, and you just call them, Daddy, please, what do you have to say about this? He will just tell you, just do this, and that's it. And that settles it. You don't need to begin to pray and fast. You already have the answer, and you go ahead with your life. So it does, to have a good mentor, and mentors are, they when they know what they are doing, and it helps their own life as well. Because people are looking up to you cannot decide to mess around.
Because
so the issues of integrity and morality also come into play, as a mentor. And the same thing with a coach. A coach tells you, sit like this, do it like this. He's a coach. He's just coaching you, telling you what you must do. But a mentor will show you You know, this is
Okay,
how
so
to go.
a coach will tell you what to do. A mentor would show you
It will show you.
how to do it.
It will show you how to do it. Yeah. It will show you.
And a
And
counselor?
of course, a counselor is, counseling in itself is a relationship. It's a process. Somebody comes and counseling is just like the other two. You know, they are, I would say that counseling is more professional because you have to be trained. You have to be trained in the art of active listening, for instance. I mean, it's a major part of our work to be able to listen, to be able to empathize, to be able to keep, maintain confidentiality.
Exactly.
And, you know, to give what we call unconditional positive regard for the other person. So whether the person is defecating in our pants, whether the person has done something, some ignoble thing or something bad, you know, you still give that person respect. You are not judgmental.
You are not judgmental.
Yeah, you continue to, you know, relate to the person because you understand and appreciate human dignity. Yeah, you appreciate the value of human life. So whatever the person might have done, you are there to just try and understand and then support the person to get out of that situation.
That mess.
Once an individual accepts that, look, I've made a mistake, I need help. You know, that's what he meets the counselor. So the counselor, we say that the counselor is a congruent, you know, stable, highly trained professional whose job is to bring is to bring smile on the face of his client. That is his business. I mean, once he's able to do that, and he does that over a period of time. If it's going to be extended, then you call him a psychotherapist.
Wow.
You know, but essentially a psychotherapist is a counselor too. But if it's going to be extended, you know, like you're dealing with personality or behavior disorders like narcissistic personality disorder or OCD, that's obsessive compulsive disorder, or any of these disorders, you know, bipolar disorder, I mean.
Then you'll be talking about a
psychotherapy.
Wow. Thank you so much,
Professor. Well, I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you.
It's a privilege.
We are still going to bring you back, sir.
Well, we'll be so happy.
Share your wealth of knowledge. Honestly,
we'll
I have really benefited from this.
I've been blessed by those your incisive questions, and they're very insightful because I'm also learning. We keep learning, all of us.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you've heard it all from Professor Abidemi Odeleye. I mean, you don't have to be book smart alone. You have to come as a complete package. We're still going to bring him back on the show, and he's going to talk to us about so many other social issues. Till then, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, ma.